The origin of the Bulungula idea was while I was working or studying at UCT, University of Cape Town. I got involved in community development work, and after graduating I travelled by public transport through Africa up to Europe, and I began developing this idea of combining travel and community development work in remote rural communities to help improve the life there. When I came back from my travels and working overseas, I came back to this area and hiked along the coast here looking for a location to implement this idea, this fusion of tourism and community development, and found this location in the end of 2002 and began then working with the community and the government to get this project approved, which it was in 2004, which is when we opened. The reason I chose this location here in the Transkei part of South Africa is because this part is most like the rest of Africa. There are two key principles that we work by here at Bulungula Lodge. One is focusing on our environmental sustainability and making sure we're living symbiotically with our environment, and the other is focusing on community development and making sure we're living symbiotically also with our community that surrounds us. In terms of the environmental sustainability, we've been off-grid on solar energy since 2004, since we started. We use special water-efficient and energy-efficient rocket showers. We use compost toilets so that we don't pollute water and we don't pollute the environment. We recycle all our grey water through various reed beds and banana circles. We invested a lot of time and energy and resources in rehabilitating our forests and the mangrove forests nearby. And all our waste is of course recycled and not polluting the local area. The Bulungula Lodge works quite closely with our surrounding community, and that's a major focus of what we do. The business is jointly owned by myself and the community, and in due course it will be 100% owned by the local community. We've obviously created a lot of jobs in the village, which were crucial in a place where there were no jobs before. We also help people start their own tourism businesses. So these are small tour businesses like horse riding, canoeing, massage and things like that have created an additional 35 livelihoods for people living in our community. So approximately half the households in our village have an income directly from the Bulungula Lodge. The community obviously gets a profit share as well at the end of the year. Then after starting the lodge, we realized that a lot of the problems weren't just about income. There were problems with water, education, health. So we set up a separate non-governmental organization called the Bulungula Incubator. The Bulungula Incubator is a non-profit organization. It employs quite a few people now. In the early days it was just one person trying their best to make a difference, and now it's grown to employ over 200 people doing various projects. Our focus is mostly have been in the past is been on education, and that's looking at a child's education from the day they're born, looking at what kind of stimulation they receive, what kind of nutrition they get. And then we've set up 4 preschools in our village and the 3 surrounding villages that offer a world-class education for the 3-year-olds, the 4-year-olds and the 5-year-olds. And then after that we'll try to work as best we can with the local government primary schools to improve what happens, what education is delivered to those children once they leave the preschools. The second major focal area is nutrition and health. There nutrition, making sure that there's good permaculture gardens growing in all the schools and all the preschools. Also educating people about what is a balanced diet. We've also do household work, so we have community health workers who visit every single household and assess what the needs are. Is there a malnourished child? Is there an HIV positive person? Is there a very old person who needs help? And we then do interventions based on the needs of each specific household, and we have a big team of people who go in and help there. We also do HIV testing sport days, where we have young people coming in large numbers to participate in sports, and it's incorporated into a whole HIV awareness and testing experience, and that's been very successful in the past, drawing large numbers of people and making people much more aware of the scourge of HIV and how to prevent it. And then lastly, our other big area has been micro-enterprise development, looking at other kinds of businesses unrelated to tourism and the lodge that will help stimulate the local economy. What we aim to do here is to try and retain as best possible the positive aspects of community life here, and the fact that these communities have got a very small carbon footprint and are mostly sustainable, and try and address just the key problem areas that have largely been solved in other parts of the world. So if we can fuse the technologies from elsewhere plus retain the good things about these communities, I believe these communities can become a model for how communities anywhere in the world can live both sustainably and have a decent standard of living.